regards to politics. I think, to me, I actually think we're in a good cross. I think America has to see the black vote as not just a Democratic vote. What we're seeing is this tension of we're spanning this continuum, right? And I think that's causing some unsettling because we're seeing some folks on the conservative side, we're seeing some folks on the Democratic side, we're seeing folks all across the spectrum when it comes to expressions and things like that. The one thing I think that we're still struggling, in my opinion, is how do we collectively get the vote recognized by people, though, regardless of what continuum you're on or what side of the political spectrum you're on. And so we still need to galvanize that. I think we still need to galvanize people understanding the power of the vote. I mean, we have to look at the intentional ways in which voting is being blocked in like Georgia and southern states, so that certain processes won't be had. And so we need to understand that our power of the black vote is strong, regardless of what side you stand on. And if we do not understand how to collectively put power and influence behind that vote to get people out to vote, we're going to lose our stake, right? And so I just think that's important. It's just that we recognize that we have a strong demographic that can really sway elections if we come out in force. And I think that's the one thing that we are still lacking is coming out in force. Thus, you still have traditional politicians who could be black or other races that don't really pay attention to our needs in America, and they go to states, they go to communities when they need the black vote, but they don't really feel or be a champion of the black voice, I should say. So, Dr. Rice.
Man, I agree with you. Just kind of sitting there thinking about what you were saying and the power, having the power to vote. And we saw that power. It stepped up. We saw it step up in the Clinton election. We saw it step up in President Obama's election. When we think about the collective vote of black people. And then we also saw it step up in Biden's, right? Because we saw a lot of the black community get behind our vice president. And that was strategic on his part to bring in a black woman and garner that vote and that support, which had never been done before. And so, but I think that one of the things that you hit on also that we have to pay close attention to is when we're talking about our belief in our political system, right? And that's being challenged. And to some degree, it's always been challenged because it wasn't, I mean, when we think about it, it's about 60 years ago or so that we even had that vote, that privilege really given back to us. No, and it's always been under fire. It's always been this, it's not one of those rights that we have through birth. It's one of those legislated rights that's been put in place to allow us the opportunity to express our vote. But the question was, how much, how much does our vote really impact our day-to-day lives? And so, and when we like to talk about the federal system, but we don't talk about the local vote. We don't talk enough about the importance of being involved politically locally and how that directly impacts us, even if some people may believe that the federal or the presidential vote is just a figurehead. It's just like, this something we do every 4 years. We do some of the votes that direct us every day, every 2 years. Sometimes it's, some positions are, or some roles and responsibilities impact us yearly. So we have to get out and be a part of that scene.